The race to be the next leader of the federal NDP is starting to take shape. The Canadian president of the International Longshore and Warehouse Union, Rob Ashton, is the latest candidate to launch his campaign. The leadership race already includes current Alberta NDP MP Heather McPherson and activist Avi Lewis.
We are Canada's party. We were built by farmers and urban workers coming together, and we need to reconnect with both.
Time to put hope before fear, to offer solutions as big as the crises we face, to fling the doors open and build a party for the 99%.
Okay, so for more on his NDP leadership bid, I'm joined now by Rob Ashton. Rob Ashton, congratulations on getting into the race, and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, David. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you've identified yourself as a worker, not as a politician. Why does a worker want to go into politics?
Well, quite frankly, we're all sick and tired of the Liberals and the Conservatives handing out lies every election and then leaving workers in the dust as the rich get richer.
I mean, that's a short, succinct answer. I mean, you said you want the party to get back to its roots, fighting for working people. This has been part of the conversation about what has happened with the New Democrats as they had this tough election result. A lot of private sector union voters, quite frankly, have gone conservative and moved away from the NDP. Is that what you're talking about there?
Yeah, so when the NDP was founded, way back, well before I was born, it was built on workers, and we've kind of strayed away from that. Whether it was by accident or on purpose, I don't know. I wasn't involved with the party that much, except a voter. But what we have to do is we have to start engaging with our members. We have to have those conversations because we have to win them back. Because somehow, some way, they've lost faith in us, and we have to get them back.
You say you strayed away from that. Where do you think you strayed to? You know, because maybe I'm oversimplifying things, and feel free to correct me if you disagree, but there was sort of that trade unionist NDP cohort, and then sort of the urban progressive NDP cohort, and it seems it tilted more towards like an urban progressive kind of focus in the last little way. I mean, how do you see it, and how do you see the tension between those two things, or is there one?
No, I don't think there's a tension. I think what we need to do is we have to learn how to talk to our members again. We have to learn how to talk to working Canadians again. What we've seen in the past is we've seen conservative governments utilize our playbook in talking to working Canadians, and it's something that we've stopped doing as a party. We've seen a career politician walking into shop floors and pretending to be a worker. And we haven't been doing that. We haven't been actually going in as workers, as members of the working class, saying, we know your issues, we know your problems, and we're going to help fix them. And that's what I bring to the party when I get elected leader, is I've been representing workers for 30 years. I can walk onto a shop floor, whether it's in a mine, a dock, into an office tower, and I can have those honest conversations. I can have those conversations about how hard it is to live in today's society. And the Conservatives have been pretending that they know how to have those conversations.
Well, I mean, it's worked. I mean, whether they're pretending or not, they do have candidates who come from working class backgrounds and different kinds of backgrounds, right? I mean, Mr. Poilievre's been a career politician, but he didn't come from a life of privilege necessarily. So, I mean, you said you've been a dock worker, right? And you're now a union leader. I mean, is that the secret sauce of your campaign, coming from that kind of a background?
I've been learning that there's no such thing as secret sauce in politics. I think it's what I offer. I offer a realism to a campaign. I offer the ability to engage with workers, to know what's happening out there. I represent workers in a vast variety of industries. Some get paid pretty good, some don't. And when I talk to those members that are on the lower end of the wage scale, they tell me how hard it is. They tell me what they need. They're kids that are going to university. They're taking out loans so that they can go to university. And then they have to pay them back when they come out of school. They're not able to get jobs. Right? So this is the type of stuff that my members are telling me. And I want to bring that to politics. I want to be the voice of Canadians in the House, of working Canadians.
You know, you're in British Columbia. There's a NDP government in BC, opposition in Alberta, and in Saskatchewan, government in Manitoba. Federally, though, the party's in pretty rough shape after the last election. I know the NDP has had these moments in their history, and they've come back from it. But there is sort of this polarization that is kind of happening, at least in English Canada, between the Liberals and the Conservatives. How worried are you about the future viability of your party in the short to medium term, given that kind of dynamic?
I think we'll be okay, because what we're showing right now in Ottawa is our 7 MPs that we currently have in office, they're actually helping change the course of history. They are still producing bills that are going to change how we run business in Ottawa. We are still being the voice of the Canadian citizens. If you look at the last Parliament, the NDP was the party that brought forward the dental care. The NDP was the party that brought forward the pharmacare. The NDP was the party that brought the anti-scab legislation. Mm-hmm. So we are the ones still fighting. Now, going forward, whoever the leader is that's elected, hopefully me, it's going to be that leader's responsibility to meet Canadians where they're at, to go to them and to have these conversations, and to find out where it went wrong.
Well, on that, I mean, you're right that there were a lot of policy successes in the last Parliament, and Jagmeet Singh was able to get a lot of those things done because of the supply and confidence agreement. And then when the election came, the party was either punished for it or abandoned in spite of it, right? So, I mean, so what lesson do you take from that, regardless of the good work that the caucus may have done to advance the interests of Canadians, there was no payoff, in fact, may have been punishment?
I think a lot of it had to do with strategic voting. You know, people are saying, well, we can't have PR in as Prime Minister, so instead of voting for the party that we choose, we're going to vote for the Liberals to try to keep PR and the Conservatives out of power. And that we've seen that a couple of times throughout our history. But what we're going to bring in the next election and elections going on in the future is no need for strategic voting. Because we're going to give the Canadian people a party that's not a political party, but it's going to turn into a movement. Because that's what this country's missing, is a political party that's a movement. Something that we haven't seen for a very long time, where the people of Canada get behind us because we have good policies, because we're talking to them, and because we're leading this country with kindness in our heart and love in our heart, and not sowing seeds of division.
There's often a debate, just as a final point, Rob Ashton, if you become the leader of the party and the leader of this movement that you hope to craft, do the New Democrats want to be the conscience of Parliament, or do they want to win, right? And Jack Layton wanted to win, and he got the closest of anyone, but other than that, it's been the conscience of Parliament to make the gains you've highlighted. What would you want to do if you're the leader of this party?
Well, I'd be lying to you if I said that when I get elected as leader on March 29th, that I don't want to become Prime Minister. Of course I want the NDP in power, because I want Canadians to actually be helped in this country. I want the NDP to run this country on behalf of Canadians, by Canadians. Because I'm sick and tired of having Conservatives and Liberals ruling on behalf of bankers and ruling on behalf of corporations and special interest groups. We're going to win, plan on running for Prime Minister, but I'm going to say this, is I understand that we're in a tough spot with 7 seats.
Right.
So whomever wins as leader, we have to go and regain the confidence of Canadians. Like I said before, we have to create a movement. And I plan on being that person that goes and regains the confidence of Canadians from coast to coast to coast.
How about
those open and hard conversations?
How about Quebec, as the last question? How's your French, Rob Ashton?
My French, how I describe it, I'll probably get bleeped out on national TV.
It's a family
so I
show.
won't do that. Yeah. Yes, but I'm taking courses right now. I'm surrounding myself with francophones. I do believe that I have a lot of work ahead of me to learn French, but I'm in it to do the hard work, because our family, our Francophone family, mean a lot to me, mean a lot to our country. And to not put in the effort to learn French when you're running as leader of a national party and eventually running to be leader of this country, if you don't even try to learn French, and if you don't become fluent in it, you're doing a disservice to a very great part of our country.
Well, Rob Ashton, I appreciate a candid answer without the profanity, and we didn't have the bleep. It was good to meet you. Good luck in the campaign. That's NDP leadership candidate Rob Ashton. Thank you, sir.
Thank you kindly.